Marijuana's bad.
Hi guys, AK here, and we are working on this track. We got cut off last time, so I'm going to resume just where I left off in the previous part, at this interlude needs work section. Here we go. Alright, so what I might do is resample that whole bit. It looks like I already started to resample it and put in little chops here. And this is cool. I remember that we were working on it last time, but I think what might be nice is to have a complementary section which is based on these melodies, but isn't these things. You know, it's like I hear this melody. It's actually pretty cool. It's cool, but I think I want more variation on it, to be perfectly honest, and I really don't feel like hand coding everything, so we're going to use some automation today, a little bit of randomness. I'm going to solo this channel and just engage this new track that I created on resampling, press record, and let it play out. And I see there's no filter automation here, so what I might just do, to be cute, is to draw in some wicked shapes, just so we get some random shit to work with. This is an interesting way of resampling. Okay, cool. So what we can do now is, just so we still have this stuff, is delete all that shitty automation. I should watch my language. Don't know who's watching. I'll make this one clip, and I'll change the color, and I will actually just deactivate it. So now we have that, if in case what we do here is terrible. Let's just make sure this is properly prepared. So we don't want to cut off the lows on the resample channel. And let's bring it up a little bit. I'll call it RSM Jimmy's. And then let's use a plugin. And we'll eventually want to include the drums to make sure whatever types of plugin automation we do works with the groove. But, you know, I was just on the Fruity Loops website, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I actually downloaded a whole bunch of image line stuff. Are they VSTs? They might be. They might be. Yeah, I wanted to try Grossbeat, because FL makes some awesome stuff, and you know, I watch like Seamless's videos. I don't know if you guys probably know who Seamless is, but I watch Seamless's videos, and I'm like, man, I wish I could try that stuff that he's doing in FL, and I can't. Alright, so I sort of have no idea how this program works, and I'm running it in JBridge in 32-bit mode, so this actually could turn into a nightmare. But let's just see if we can get something going here. Look at the presets. How does this thing work? Did I already make myself a rack? Oh, looks like not. This is kind of crazy. So I have no idea what's going on in this plugin right now. And I'm literally just randomly clicking around. Alright, now I get it. So these things trigger what the heck is going on. But the second one needs to be activated some way. Alright. Rather than try to get fancy with automation, I'm going to do something that I think I've demonstrated before, where I just capture, I'm just going to mess with the plugin and capture the output on this resampling channel. But instead of having it be on resampling, I actually want it to just take this, because I want to listen to the drums, but I don't want it to record the drums. So, oh, there we go. And then I'll wow, the interpolation on this plugin is awesome. JBridge is a little bit annoying. Okay, so it looks like I just did one take, and honestly, in that stuff I heard good stuff. Now we can get rid of gross beat. We don't need it anymore. We'll call this scratchy lead, and you know, we do what we do when we resample. We listen back in the context of maybe one other element, like the drums and, oh, I don't know, the chords, and listen for parts that, you know, are like, ooh, that's special. Bring the volume back up, and maybe even, you know, do something like compress this a little bit, because we probably really mess with the transients. And I'll do parallel compression, which is where you bring the, here, I should solo this, where you bring the threshold way down and like crank the ratio, make it super compressed sounding, like super squashed, and then bring up the makeup. Even more. And then dial back the dry wet drastically. And then, you know what else I might do is, I have this great rack called Make Wider, which is basically, it's simple. It's one thing that just raises the volume of the sides to expose what's going on here. I have one group for the mid that's a utility with width at 0. And then I have one group on the side with utility with width at 200%. So this is just the mids, this is just the sides, and this rack is just literally raising the volume of the sides to make it wider. It totally works. Listen to that. We'll go low on this. Actually, I can't really hear the stereo width too well in mono right now, but I hear something. Alright, so let's do what we're going to do and listen back with the drums and the chords. That's cool. There's going to be so much cool stuff in here. I love that plugin. That was easy. I should probably just listen to all the parts instead of trying to make something right off the gate. Oh, that's so cool. Like, that would be so hard to make. I mean... And then it should do something like... Ah, glitchy sound card. Render that, reverse it. That'll be cool. Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's cool too. There's so much cool stuff in here. So now we have all these cool parts to use for a part. Alright, now we should bring in the Jimmy's lead. I'm hearing something. Nope, that's definitely not it. I can hear it. Alright, let's think about this for a second. It's da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, and then I want da-na-na-na. Nope, not there. Not there either. Not there either. Not there either. Maybe it's there. Maybe it's triplets. That's why I can't hear it. It's wherever this thing is here. It's right there. Why doesn't it sound right? What about some of this stuff? What about something like this? No, that doesn't work. What about just taking this whole bar that I made? What about? Nope, that's not going to work, Aaron. Think better. Maybe push it up. That's not bad. And then, yeah, and then send it to the ping pong. And then it doesn't have to start up for a little while. And then maybe I'll send it to the reverb again, but a much quieter version. Oh, sound card. Why must you glitch? Oh, by a much quieter version, I did not mean 24 decibels louder version. Ooh, that's cool. Sort of, but not that part. Alright, I'm getting lost, but we want to find myself. Ooh, that's cool. Maybe it goes there. I think that's just spot on here. That's cool. I'm sorry, I'm not saying very much. It's because I'm really just trying to concentrate on making this scratchy bit sort of fit with the rest of what's going on. It occurs to me now that I have elements soloed, and I should probably at this point, think about bringing in the rest of the track and make sure the direction that I'm going in makes sense for this part of the song. So I'll listen back a little bit. So honestly, one thing I notice is that this is primary right now. This is the primary main thing that's going on here, especially in this section, because none of this is happening. So I like that this cuts out. It looks like I even said this is too much chaos. Maybe it was the solo that was creating. So I'm going to delete that note that I made to myself. And what I'm going to do is actually bring the volume of this out even more. So we're adding some sides already. Let's have some fun with this. Let's do some more processing. So we already have this mid-side split, which basically takes, the mids and the sides and put them in different racks. So we could technically process them differently. Now, I think it's pretty important to think about the placement of these effects, because what's happening, you can think of this utility as just straight outputting only mid content. So if you put it before, it'll affect the dry signal, and then you'll get the mid of that. If you put it after, you will start introducing sides based on the effects that you put in. She can do that, deliberately, but I sort of don't like to. So let's try some modulation effects on the mid, and then we'll try some maybe spatial effects on the side. So I'm going to drop a flanger in before here. I already like where this is going. Sorry guys, got a A-B. Let's do some more. Let's do a phase. I like to use these effects right in a row, I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, that's sort of nice and wide. And then maybe even a saturator. We'll get real crazy with this thing, but reel it way back. I sort of love it. pretty loud. It's pretty loud with that. And then what happens if we crank the sides even more? No, that's too much. So what I've sort of done here is I've brought this back into focus, and then it occurs to me that with all this widening that's going on, we might have created some disparate volumes. So I'll actually take that parallel compression and put it at the very end here. Fully compressed, fully dried. Yeah, there's a sweet spot to me right around 30 to 29. Or the soft mode. Yeah, I like the soft mode better. I'm not sure what the heck that does. What does that do? Applies wave shaping distortion. I'm looking in the bottom left, guys. Applies wave shaping distortion to the input signal, limiting the maximum output level to -5. Taming sharp transients. Oversampling is enabled. Oh, oversampling. Hell yeah, we want oversampling. Oh man, that sounds awesome. I learned something today. I did not know the Sotomic's, glute compressor had oversampling. That's super dope. Did not know that. Alright, now that it's like big, it needs to be a little bit more sparse so it doesn't hurt our heads. Now comes the painstaking part. Where's my reverb? There we are. I can't even hear it. That's cooler. So we're just going in and fixing up things and trimming out notes and just bringing back transients. And then even just go in and just do stuff like I love the sound of cut off transients, you know, not letting the decay finish. It just sounds so cool to me. Whatever. Yeah, I like it. Alright, let's make sure this all makes sense still. Let's go low with this one. trying to get this to do something interesting. And what I might do is warp it there just for the time, and then play with some of these warp modes. And then maybe I'll have the flux modulation go like so. All right, so now what we're getting into is we're sort of using Ableton's warp modes as a resampling, resampling tool. So I'm going to take the flux modulation and have it start low and go back up. Yeah, something like maybe even more. Maybe we'll do something similar with the grain size too. Just and then maybe if these weren't so hard, it would be more interesting. Okay, so like that's cool. It's not there yet. I'll render it, and then I'll start doing stuff in maybe in beats mode, like pitching it up and bringing it to 16ths or 30 seconds or 30 seconds. Even. And then maybe even bring it back down, but unwarp it. And then maybe just have those things there, but have this one at normal pace. And just get rid of that one. Pretty careful. And then send this one. And then just drastically lower the volume of these. I think this should work. So it's really hard when, at least when you're making the kind of music that I'm trying to make, it's really hard to get in real fine with these edits because you very quickly lose sight of whether this is even a musical phrase. Like, sure, like it kind of sounds cool, but does it sound cool in the context of the musical context which it came? So you always got to remember to like take pause and listen back. In this case, it's actually not too bad. It's still a little bit loud, I think, to tell you the truth. Maybe it's the modulation that's making it loud. Maybe this should only be, oops, here. That's pretty good. It's going to be pretty close. This should be a roll. Pitch these up. Kind of cool. Maybe make it louder and send it to a reverb. Much louder, like 12. There we go. Maybe much 22. That's crazy. That's a little bit too much. maybe like 18. And then maybe I'll send this one. And then maybe just get rid of this for the beginning of this transient. Maybe try triplets. Here we go. Could that be a wrap? So these two are just a little too quiet. That's cool. I think that should be a wrap, and then we can move on. Let's listen to it in the context of where it comes from. Where? Oh yeah, this guy. Oh yeah. What if I had this come up over time to get as loud as it needs to be, but start even at a volume low? This is bothering me. I don't like it now. I like it better with that cut out. Maybe like that. Come on, just a small hit, and just send it to a reverb. Oh, it's so close. There it is. What is this? I just want this part. Oh, I want it low. I'm just getting a little pop in the beginning. will this work if I just take it like this and copy it here? Oh, that's cool. What if this came down here? It would need to be much louder. It's so much cooler with the processing now. Maybe if this came down here, I could do something like this, where this is sort of the melody. Yep, that's what it is, and it's going to be that. Ooh. I think it's going to be that, and I'm going to maybe fill in stuff here, just because I really like this. So this needs to make it to the chorus. Is this the same chorus? No, it doesn't have the solo. Alright, let's bring this back in and make this work together. So the first thing we're going to have to do is raise the gain of these clips significantly, because there's like 11 dB of gain on this, and I don't want to change the mix, so I'm just going to raise it. That's pretty cool. What if things cut out a little bit for this part? I'm just getting this sort of idea of like, what if this? That's kind of cool. I like that, having the bass drum, the kick drum just follow the melody a little bit more. Yeah, it's much better. Ah, this is amazing. Oops. Just this little guy. That's going up. And then everything's coming out for that. The chords too. Where's my utility? Not quite like that. It should be like this. Is this crazy what I'm doing? Who knows? It seems like the right idea. What I'm doing is just accentuating the gain on the chords at these transient points, at these points of where the chords change, and cutting everything for the crazy film. I really like this. Just a little bit of boost. It's going to happen the whole rest of the time. It's close. It's still a little loud. Let's do something with the filter, because this is some crazy shit. Damn, keep swearing. I do not mean to. I do not mean to use foul language. What? This sounds crappy. Let's turn it off. Alright, well, the transition definitely don't work, but it's a cool section. I'm really happy with the way it has come out. So let's listen back just a little bit. That's a little bit loud. I don't know, I just sort of hear it. Maybe you don't. You probably do. You probably hear it better than I do, because it's not in mono. Sorry I keep whining about this mono thing, guys. I'm just not used to producing in headphones. Taking advantage of these ridiculously well-priced KRKs I have on my desk. What's going on at the end there? Wait. Oh, interesting. Whatever. I just won't use that. So, at the end here, it might be cool to do a bit more with filter. What I'm thinking might be nice to do is just take this last chord and just do something super lazy. And maybe even just this has got to do something. What about filter, additional filter stuff? That's kind of cool, but I still think there's a bit too much going on. That's kind of cool. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll have it all, I'll have it all go to the ping pong, and then I'll have the ping pong be totally freaking silent right when the rest of this kicks in. And what I might even do, I tend to, recently been getting crazy on the send tracks and like doing all sorts of automation, which is sort of not great, but if you're, finishing your arrangement or trying to get things ready, it's fine because, well, you're finishing. So I'm going to put a redux on this and actually have this ring out at 2 different harmonics after it, as it echoes. It might be interesting if it came back, though. Maybe louder. That's super cool. So now we have a little transition, and I'll just have the redux on for that period of time. And now it makes a little bit more sense. Let's listen back from needs work and see if this still needs work. We might be able to clean that up. I'm saving, because I haven't saved once. I'm going to leave it because I think the ending still needs a little bit of work. That still needs work, but the idea is solid. This sounds great. And I'm totally cool that there isn't a lead solo this time through. So we should probably call this one chorus with solo. And then this one's without the solo. So, you know what, guys? Something just sort of struck me here, that the song is how long? 5 minutes and 52 seconds. That's a long freaking time. We got all this unused content here that we probably spent time on. And if I go straight to here, it's already 4:34 here. And I'm thinking this minor trance theme, it is awesome, and I do enjoy it. But there's some dissonance in it. And going back here requires another transition, and this part is just awesome, but I have no idea what to do with it. and to introduce it for an ending is a little bit silly. In a way, it's kind of a cool B section to the minor trance section. So what I'm going to do, and I'm actually not going to commit to this yet, is I'm going to insert 64 bars of silence before this minor trance comes in at this ending transition. And I'm going to add a locator. I'm going to call this another song, because I think it really is at its core. Even though it's got some of the same instruments and some of the same resampled parts, I'm going to call this the B section, and I'm going to call this the A section. No, I'm going to call this the A section. I'm going to call this the B section, and I'm going to call this ref FM. So that references this track, and I might just, I'm going to save this change, and I might just call this the track. We're going to listen through one more time and just make a couple of final notes to address for the mix. But the way I just heard it, and I don't know if you heard what I heard. Well, I know you heard what I heard, but I don't know if you felt what I felt. What I felt is that this is actually a good place to end the track. And just have it cool off. So rather than getting into that dun 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 and having this ridiculous swell that I have to probably address because it's not perfect. Maybe we'll have those hits, maybe we won't. But that could be the end of the track, and that's 4 minutes, and that's plenty of length for a track. So let's listen back and see if that is complete. And it's okay. It's okay that we wrote all this stuff that we're not going to use. I think as you get more experienced producing, and I've been doing this for about 2-3 years now, seriously for about 2 or 3 years, you produce less that you don't use. But I'm still at that phase where I'm just making so much music and not finding solid uses for all of it. And sometimes you really got to make the hard decision and just decide that even though this thing is your darling and you love it, and it's like this sound that you're so into in the moment, out of context, it doesn't belong in the track. I don't know if there are any philosophy people out there, but Kant likes to talk about the dispassionate nature that artists must adopt in order to create things. And it's like, you have to be indifferent to your stuff in order to judge it. And that's sort of a paradox because you create it. Anyway, you have to pay attention to your stuff in order to make it. So I should probably stop just going on and pay attention to my listen back. There's the intro to our solo. I might want to mess with the filter a little bit there. I don't want to give it away. Let's just deal with it. Yeah, let's deal with it right now because I have this idea with respect to that lead solo. I definitely want to move the filter a little bit while this is going on, but I don't want to give away the awesomeness of the filter moving. But I'm just going to do little bumps, maybe more down than up. That's a little high, whatever's. Exactly like that. I'm gonna take a transient master and drop it on this lead. And increase the attack. Just so it has more punch. Here comes the solo. Get rid of that note. What if it didn't? What if it, yeah, what if it didn't? Oh, that's really cool, actually. Don't you agree? I know you can't actually talk to me, but that part just clicked for me. Bring the volume down for that section. That's cool, but it needs work. Oh, I have a note. Yeah, guys, I think we could have a track here. Sort of end on that chorus. So here's what I'm thinking now. Well, I should wait. I should wait, be patient, and hear the end of the song before I make this decision. Yeah. You know what? That's a track. That, my friends, is a track. So I'm going to save it here, and I knew this was going to happen. I'm going to have to do some stuff off camera. I'm just going to have to listen back to this and appreciate whether there are stereo problems and just get a better sense of the bass, because you can't do bass in headphones. Or I can't do bass in headphones. Maybe some people can. But we are pretty far on our journey here towards what is going to be something that I look forward to releasing. And then I can say, hey, and if you like this track, you can see exactly how everything was made. So thanks for making it this far in the series, guys. And I look forward to, in probably the following, the two finale videos, addressing the mix and really just, it might even be like a retrospective where I just in 20 or 30 minutes go over some of the things that I wanted to sort of place in the mix, and then that'll sort of be the summary wrap up before I send it off to get mastered. I do not master my own stuff, and I don't recommend that you do, unless maybe you're some kind of genius and can do that. Anyway, it's been been good, guys. Until next time.